Hello, guys. Welcome to another free class my name is James, and I teach American English. I live here in Brazil. For those of you who are just joining me for the first time, welcome. I try to make it easy. Eu ensino inglês para brasileiros, então muitos eu falo bem-vindo. So today we're going to look at can, can't, could, couldn't, and be able to. What is the difference between these? I'm going to try to make it very simple by giving you some different situations that you can use these every day. Okay, so let's start. We have the ability, a suggestion, né? Quando você está sugerindo, request, tá? Um pedido, deduction, o que você acha que faz sentido, a prohibition, tá proibido, permission, uma permissão, and a possibility, possibilidade, it's a possibility. So all of these situations here, we use can, can't, could, couldn't, be able to, but when do you use them? So I'm going to try to break it down the best way possible. If you are here, please make sure you like the video. If not, get out. No, I'm just kidding. Please comment afterward. Feel free. This is an open class to write a question. If you have any questions regarding the information, please feel free to ask a question. Or if while we're doing this, you would like to give an example, feel free also to do that. Fica à vontade, okay? So the first example for ability is I can drive. Very simple. Just the subject verb, I can drive, using this modal verb. I have the ability to drive. I could also say be able to. I have to conjugate the to be verb. I am able to drive. And a quick tip for pronunciation. Usually when you hear an American say able, it's gonna sound like a do. I promise you. It is to, but able do. I'm able to do that. I'm able to do that. Many times in a normal or natural feel is going to have that sound. Do, able to. I'm able to help you. Okay? So I could say, I'm able to drive. I can drive. Almost the same meaning, or it is the same meaning. You choose which you like to say in these situations. Okay? The next one, suggestion. What is a suggestion? You are kind of giving me almost like advice. You should, but we're not talking about that modal verb right now. We're just going to talk about you could. It's an option, okay? You could drive for me. I'm not asking you to drive for me. I'm just giving you a suggestion. You could drive for me. It's an option, okay? The next one is a request. Now I'm asking. It's a request. I'm asking. Could. I'm starting with this modal verb. Could, then the subject, you, and then drive for me. Você pode dizer para mim. Could you drive for me? Could you drive for me? Sorry, here. Could you drive for me? The request. The next one is deduction. So we are going to deduct, to infer from the situation. So this example is, James couldn't, I'm using the negative, have driven here. James couldn't have driven here. Why not? Because he's in New York. So that's a deduction that it's impossible to drive here if he is in New York. I could say the same thing as can't. I could say, you can't be rich. It's a deduction, okay, using can't. You can't be rich. You live in the ghetto, or you don't have, you know, any money, or you didn't go to a good school. You can't be rich. It's a deduction. The next one is prohibition. Okay, now be careful here. This prohibition is you can't park here. Você não pode estacionar aqui. You can't park here. Meaning what? I would tell you verbally that you can't park here. But if the British may use you mustn't park here. If it's written, if you see it on a sign, you would see you mustn't park here. But most of the time in verbal colloquialism, we're going to use the word can't. Tudo bem? All right, so the next one, another example is, can I park here? I'm asking for permission. Eu posso estacionar aqui? Can I park here? And this is informal, okay? Informal. Formally, if you're a student and you want to show respect to the teacher, you're going to say, may I? May I park here? Because you're asking permission. But again, that's formal. That's in situations where a son might ask a parent, or a patient might ask the doctor, or you may even ask a police officer because they have an authority over you. You wouldn't want to use can. You would say may as a form of respect to ask permission to do that. Okay? Next one, possibility as an option. É possível. Parking could be expensive in New York. Now, there are some other options that you can use. You could use might be. Parking might be expensive. It's a different modal verb, but it's the same idea. It's still a possibility. Parking could be expensive, or parking might be expensive in New York. Now, when we go back to this, if I were to say I can't drive, okay, that means I don't have the ability to drive. So whether I use can or can't, it would be the same, okay? So I can't drive. You couldn't drive for me? We're not going to use the couldn't if we're giving a suggestion. I could reverse it and make it as a suggestion, but it's more of a request. Couldn't you drive for me? So could you drive for me, or couldn't you drive for me? I'm asking if you could drive for me. The next one is, we have James couldn't have driven here. So I said that you could use can't for a logical conclusion as well. And then must would be the positive. So you must be rich because you're an American, or you must be rich because you live in New York City. You live in Manhattan. You live in Central Park. So you must be rich. That would be the opposite of you can't. You can't for the deduction. The fourth one, the deduction. You can park here. That would be the opposite. So I could either prohibit it, you can't park here, or yeah, you can park here. I might say you're able to park here. You're able to park here. And that's it in a nutshell, without using may or might as a possibility. You could also use those modal verbs. And if you'd like to see that as a class, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to add that as a mini lesson for you. And of course, if you have any questions as well, or have any suggestions for me, you're going to start off with the suggestion Oh, you could give, the base verb, a class on go, or on though, or on phrasal verbs, or on modal verbs. All types of suggestions. That's all I have for today. I thank you very much for your time. And remember, I'm going to put a link up here that I think would be best for you to watch next. Of course, this is going to be later. And a link at the bottom that YouTube thinks that you would benefit most from. So, de novo, em cima eu vou sugerir uma vídeo que eu acho que você vai gostar. E aqui embaixo o que YouTube acho que você vai gostar também. Muito obrigado pelo seu tempo. Essa aula é bem curtinho porque o assunto é curtinho. Se não tem perguntas nenhum. Muito obrigado e até a próxima. Remember to see it, hear it, and say it. You need to see the information, maybe see the picture, hear the way it's said, like able to, and then say it. You must repeat it. So see it, hear it, and say it. That's all I have for this time.